future as a mother? I don't get that.
Piers,
how does she imperil her future as a mother?
Well, let me tell you how. You just heard Sophie tell you that she was fired from her job when her boss found out her OnlyFans.
Yeah.
She was fired from her job.
Yeah.
And now, with all due respect to Sophie, what are you going to tell your daughter in 10 or 15 years when all of these images are all over the internet and your daughter is being bullied in middle school and was told that you guys were Christians? With all due respect, what do you say then? It creates a real weight, a real tension between a mom and her children, and of course, a worker and her employer. I don't want to encourage women to go on OnlyFans and then get fired from their job and then have a real fight at home about what mommy did on the internet last week.
Okay, Sophie?
I mean, I'm only 21. I haven't even thought about having kids yet. But also, I think that the main discussion here is sin tax. And like in the state of Florida, there's already no income tax. So, and that's also one of the main identities of Florida, is that it is a no income state tax. And I think the main issue here is you're attacking women already on the site making money.
I'm attacking men as well.
Exactly. There's multiple people on the site, and not everyone does adult content. OnlyFans is a massive platform, and you can do anything on there. Not everything is adult content based.
Well, I think to be fair to him, Sophie, he's not saying that everyone on OnlyFans should get the sin tax. He's just saying the people that he considers to be sinful should get a tax, and you're one of them. He thinks you're a sinner. What do you say to that?
Well, sin tax is, he's proposing that is going to attack everyone on the OnlyFans site. So does that include all of, the cooks on there that are just selling their?
It would be a good example.
That's a country, not a culture.
Well, of course, the culture that comes from Afghanistan. We can talk about the Muslim culture that comes from the Middle Eastern countries. I would argue that those aren't particularly equal. I mean, we see a lot of...
So the whole Muslim culture of what, over 1 billion, well, actually nearly 2 billion people.
I didn't say the whole Muslim culture.
Well, you said Muslim.
You just said it.
Correct. I said some of the Muslim cultures that we're seeing from the Middle East.
Well, just to be clear, I'm just trying to work out what you believe. So you think the Muslim culture is an inferior culture?
In a lot of ways, yes.
Wow.
It's just so ridiculous, Piers.
Okay.
This is so ridiculous.
Brian, I think we're getting to why this comment went viral. Why both those comments went viral.
First of all, it's extremely offensive. I would ask her how many Muslim people does she know, number one. Number two, when you take an entire group of people,
quite a few, and they're actually very westernized.
I didn't interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. Please let me finish. When you take an entire group of people, when you take an entire group of people and say they are lesser than us, that is pure bigotry.
You appear to have done a massive U-turn on this and become incredibly critical of them. A, do you accept that characterization? And if so, explain the change in mind.
Well, Piers, I'm glad you played that clip and gave the full context. I'm grateful for that. What I said in that clip, I stand by today, which is that Iran should never be funding the crazy terroristic proxies of Hezbollah or the Houthis or Hamas. And I also have been critical of the Israeli government. What I'm especially critical of is the fact that they now want $200 billion for the Pentagon to fight a war that Marco Rubio himself said we are fighting because Israel was the proximate catalyst for getting us in this war. So two things can be true at the same time, Piers. You understand the nuance. The first thing that's true is that, no, Israel should not be attacked by Iran. And then number two is that the United States should not lose free speech rights or send billions of dollars of taxpayer money to the Israeli government every single year. And so I'm going to speak the truth in a way that I think people in my state appreciate.
Okay.
It's not
and
either
just to be
or.
clear, do you believe that Israel has a right to exist?
I believe that countries don't have right to exist, but I believe that people have a right to exist, and Jewish Floridians, like Christian...
The issue of whether it has a right to exist is a very hot one, as you know. So just to be clear, you just don't think they have a right to exist, Israel?
I don't think that any country has a right to exist.
I know you said that. I'm not talking about any country. I'm talking about specifically Israel.
Specifically Israel, and specifically and generally every country in the world does not have an inherent right to exist. Who has a right to exist are people, and that includes Jewish Floridians who are struggling just as Christian Floridians are under the weight of a cost of living crisis, Piers, and I'm going to fight for them every single day as their next governor.
Okay, let's get to the sin tax. You've proposed a 50% sin tax on OnlyFans creators to discourage what you call immoral behavior. So just explain that.
Well, there was a time not too long ago in the United States of America where young girls aspired to be cooks and lawyers and reporters and doctors, and nowadays they are resigned to the fact that if they have an unexpected expense or they need to cover their rent or groceries, the quickest way for them to do that is being exploited by the OnlyFans platform. And so I respect women. I respect them enough to think that they are capable of anything they put their minds to, and I never want a woman in my state to be exploited by the online sex slavery that is OnlyFans.
But I thought it was a voluntary platform.
It's not. There's nothing voluntary about a platform that exploits women and forces them to sell nude photos on the internet. Piers.
When you say
this is a classic case.
Just to be clear about what OnlyFans is, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding about OnlyFans is it's voluntary. No one's forcing you to do it. People go on OnlyFans, create an account, and they charge money for whatever they want to put on their account. I'm not sure where the exploitation element, as you're articulating it, is.
Well, this is often the defense of sex trafficking, that a 15-year-old girl is voluntarily
hang on, sex trafficking is illegal.